So what is it supposed to be?
Wow, it's like that. I really try, but I will really not do it right. So I just.
Okay.
I
I
just,
don't think you can't do it quietly.
who do we live for? Who is the fool? Who is the wise man? Oh my god.
Okay.
Well, that's your chorus. Do you see my issue here?
Yeah,
Oh my
okay.
god.
So
Crazy.
you're singing who is the fool, who is the wise man, is that right?
Yeah, wow, you could understand it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so could
that's the
I.
lyrics. Who do we live? Who do we die for? Who is the fool? Who is the wise man? And then it has two more lines. Who do we live? Who do we die for? Carry me home, home to my dream of lies. Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
And it starts on, is that a C sharp 5 or C5?
Yes, a
C
C
sharp?
sharp 5.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
okay.
Jesus Christ. How am I going to do that? It's just too
Um,
high.
so instead of singing who, can you try singing, just try singing the vowel ah, but really let it feel like it's going up, like really let it feel like it's going up into your head. So for a lot of people,
Okay.
it feels like there's a, like their nose is open. You know what I mean? When nose, yeah. So it's
Yeah,
like,
I know what you. Yeah.
so instead of who, but, and then so mouth would be a little bit more oval shaped.
Mhm.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. So does that feel less tight?
Yeah, it feels definitely less tight. It's much easier. Yeah.
Okay, so now let's try to round it more. So keep that kind of feeling of that ah vowel in your throat. And
Okay.
then let's, how do I say it? So let's try to basically just change the front of the mouth to make it sound more like an O. More like an O, like instead of but
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Was that better?
That was on the right track. I would say, um, can you try to?
But is that normal to get like all this tension, like here in the muscles and here and just everywhere? I feel so tense right now. It's
In that part of
crazy.
your voice,
It's not.
you might feel a little tense if you're not aligning your body in a way that your body wants to go. Like for example, your body might want to move a certain way on that note. So I think that for you, in that range, and especially with the vowel, the thing is that the vowel you're singing there, you actually can't just sing who, ooh, like that, and have it be the loudness that you really want at that
I
level.
know what you mean because I feel it for myself that it's blocked. It just blocks it out. And that's why I have to, that
Yeah.
even something comes out. I feel it.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
So for you, I would say to maybe think about unhinging. Like I've told Janet about this. It's kind of the feeling of
Yeah.
Yeah.
like this, going instead of,
Okay.
and then it feels like a kind of a reaching sensation here, and it's so
Yeah.
instead of like feeling you're tensing up, it just feels like a stretch in the back of your
Yeah.
head. Okay, and it's kind of a stretch, and it feels like your jaw is staying pretty still, but your skull here is the one that's flipping. If that makes sense, it's going like this.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah, I feel that. When I even go up higher, that's what my body naturally does. Like it's a weird feeling, like goes up and down, like up and over kind of. Is
okay.
that the right thing, what you mean?
So what I kind of mean here is that in order to stabilize those notes in that part of your range, and especially with a vowel that's going to be more resonant and louder, we have to raise the chin, kind of like if you see like Pavarotti or someone a big tenor
Yeah.
or big soprano hitting their highest note, they're like,
Yeah.
they're never like, they're never
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
know
you
what you mean, yeah.
so it's kind of like that sensation, because what that does is that your larynx has to raise a certain degree for that high note, but then
Yeah.
there's muscles here that stabilize it, and if you use those muscles to stabilize, hopefully it'll be a little bit less straining on the back of your neck. So,
Yeah, it's training everywhere. Basically, it's here, it's inside, it's everywhere. But I think I just have to train and start to bring more relaxation into it, and then hopefully it will be more easy.
I think
easier.
it's not just a matter of training doing the same thing over and over. It's a matter of kind of tuning your voice to find out what that position is for your voice and your body on those notes. So So what is the line again? The first line?
Who do we live? Who do we die for?
Would the behind the hand help?
So basically, I don't know. Basically, we would need to check like my my articulation, right? Like in this line, it would be like who do we live? It would be like the who and the live, right?
Okay.
Basically.
Yes.
That's what I do wrong, right?
So I would say, like you would want to keep that space that you have on the ah, and so you can actually sing with that space, but kind of shade the vowel towards a closed vowel, like.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Instead of live, maybe go towards lave.
Live. Okay. Live. Okay.
So, and you're probably going to want to keep the mouth more open than you have, which is something that we talked about.
That's my problem. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would be a shape that looks more like this, like. And especially for me, especially as a guy, I need to do a lot of cheek raising. I think that you might have to do a decent amount more than you think.
Wow, that was weird. I even felt like these tense muscles inside, like trying to. Oh, that was.
Really?
That felt not good. Yeah, it felt like I don't know, when you like try to imagine you stretch your ear or something. That's how I felt. But I think that's a good thing. Like I accessed like all the resonating parts. No, it's just like the sensation. Like when you think about when you have like a problem in your ear, right? And it hurts, and inside it starts like stretch, this kind of feeling. But inside, somewhere here, I don't know where, but it was weird.
You've got amazing sense of feeling inside your body, which is something I'm on the other end of the spectrum. I find it very difficult. When in that little clip I was showing that I'd sent to you from Marnell, and he said, you'll feel the sound going towards the back of your palate. And I thought, I will never feel that. I'll even have trouble if I try and make that happen, but I don't even know what he means by you will feel.
I think he means exactly what Brian does, right, with the vowels, because when you have it very close, it's in the front, and when you open it, it goes back and up. I think it's exactly that, right?
Yes, and it's one of those things that it's hard to explain it until after you've experienced it, and that's kind of one of the things that the open mouth hum behind the hand is supposed to accomplish.
Yeah. Well, I did get a sensation from that.
Mm-hmm.
I could feel the difference between doing the same sound without it, same mouth, same sound, and I could feel a release kind of in my palate.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
So that's the start. Yes.
Yeah, that was very special. I mean, I just had like one lesson when we did this with Brian, but it was really cool. Afterwards, I could access notes that I couldn't at the beginning at all. Like, I was like, really? I'm that high? Like, really? It was so cool. And I didn't have the strain, But I mean, yesterday I overdid it a little bit. So I sang all these songs from this band, and I just tried like the first verse and one chorus at least. And I felt it afterwards because like the whole album is like 1 hour, you know. So I felt it.
I see.
But yeah. So
Yeah,
I mean,
like that
my
can also
question.
make a difference too. Like if you sang really
Yeah, I mean-
hard the day before, it makes it a little bit more difficult to access certain resonance the next day, and you might push a little bit trying to do it. But I think your voice sounds pretty fresh so far. So.
Okay, cool. But do you think I will be able to sing that because it's all around here and higher? Like,
I think so. I think that it has to do a
because
lot with.
I know I'm not a soprano. I'm only a mezzo, and this is soprano material. And I don't know if I will be able, or if it's even me. You know, if it's even me.
Well,
And
that's true. But I think
I'm not
that it's
sure.
I think you can do it. I have no doubts that you can do it. I think that it will require you to adjust your approach. So what we did just then, that was kind of showing you like how it feels more when you're more opened there. And now I think that we can try. So, who do you live? That's the first part? And who do you die
that's
for?
the first one. Yes. Who do we live? Where is it? Here.
Who do we live?
Who do we live? Who do we live, or who do we die for? That's like the two parts of the first line. Yes.
So I would say let's try singing like having your mouth kind of like an aw, like awesome, like an American saying awesome.
Awesome.
But then
Awesome.
inside your mouth, but your tongue, I want your tongue to be in the position for O, like, oh my god,
Okay.
oh,
Oh.
Good. Let's see, 4, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, just under 2 finger widths. So, oh. Yeah, there you go. And yes,
Okay, cool.
And then I want you to try that one with a little bit more like lift in your cheeks. Good. So
Cool.
yeah, so that will be the vowel for who and do instead of ooh, sing oh no. But it's because it's so high in your range, it'll sound like who do. Okay?
Yes. Oh, cool. Nice.
That was good.
Yeah. And when
It's
you watch
much
that-
more relaxed too. When you have like the right vowel shape, it's not like you're not in your own way anymore.
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
really cool. That's so cool.
Yeah.
You're the master. No, seriously, that's so cool. Wow.
I'm glad that it works. Yeah, so, and for Janet's reference, if you check your chart, Janet, that's note number 31. And
I have my chart.
yeah, so she's on note number 31. I'm using the back vowel series, so the third series there, and it's the vowel that looks like the ram's horn. It's the O that's through the aw lips.
Right.
That's what we did.
Okay. All through the R lips. Okay.
Yeah, and then so
I never realised that any of those symbols indicated a different shape in the throat. So where does it actually tell you that, or is it in the book?
this is something that this is a kinesthetic cue I use that I kind of learned from my own playing around, and then I saw Gary Sage actually use it with someone. It's because if you look at the vowel series, Janet, that vowel that we were talking about, the ram's horn one, the O through A,
Yeah.
it's right
Jovial.
between. So if you look at what's on the left of it and look at what's on the right of it, on the left, the more closed vowel is O, as in oh my gosh. Oh. And then if you
Note
open it up.
35, 31.
So if you look at note number 29, it's an O, right? Like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh. And then you look at note
Yeah.
number 32, it's aw, like awesome. Aw.
Yeah.
Aw. So between O and ah, basically what is in between? You split the difference. And then you have an O through ah lips before it becomes ah.
And they give the word jovial to be a guy.
Jovial. Because you're not supposed to go jovial, you're supposed to go jo. It's the first part of jovial.
Yeah.
That's why.
And Angela neatly demonstrates.
No, for me, it's so hard. I don't function with my head. When I checked your PDF that you sent me, Brian, it was so hard for me to understand.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I understand when I do it. I understand it, but when I see it afterwards, I'm like, hey, what is that? Like, I think part of it also has to do that I'm not American, I'm not English even. It's not my native language. So we do have other words and vowel shapes in German, I would say.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You have a very good sense of your vowels though. That's kind of what really helps with this. Because this is why it's easy for me to tell Angela to just sing this vowel
and I can
and
tell
then she can sing it. Yeah, and then she also has the awareness, kinesthetic awareness, in that when I say open your mouth more, she does it in a way, you'll notice that it's not a very tense way. A lot of students that are just beginning, when you tell these students, like, I need you to open your mouth this wide, and they'll do it, but they're like clenching so hard, and they're like, and trying to hold that position. Whereas Angela doesn't have that right now when she's doing that.
Well, last time I had it. What I did, I just told Janet today, I also worked a little bit on these, what are they called again?
Masseters.
The masters and pterygoids?
Like the whole thing, like your lips, your tongue, and your...
Articulators.
Yeah, thank you. I worked a little bit on these, that I keep this open, relaxed, like that. And I do everything with my tongue and sometimes with my lips too. And I mean, on certain like consonants, you have to close the mouth. Like on a W or on an S, you have to. There is no way around it. And these you have to, but you have to find a way to go to the next vowel that comes or whatever it is in a smooth way that it doesn't interfere. And I worked on this basically yesterday. That's why I have quite a relaxed jaw today.
Very good. Yeah. Well, it's definitely coming through, and I think that it's also good that you're able to be aware of that. That's kind of a very important thing. So a lot of times, you know, people they'll be like, okay, I need to loosen this up, and as soon as they start singing, they go, oh, and then everything just like tenses up, and then they get distressed, and then they don't relax it back afterward, and they just stay tensed.
I think the problem is when you do an exercise, you can be aware of all these things. It's no problem, but you don't have to sing a text. There is the problem with your whole diction that comes in that just gives you trouble then. It's like that. I have this problem. That's why I thought I have to work on these things.
Yeah, so this is why we study both the exercises to give us the tools so that then we can problem solve through the text as needed. And so that was really good. So the vowel will be, and then we will be more like eh. So it's like instead of saying you're gonna sing. And then maybe there you go. And then
like that.
Yes, and then you can mess with the lift just to find the right amount of it so that it'll be easier, because you naturally have a decent amount of lift in your speech, and it makes it easier. But then sometimes as you get to that area, especially above C sharp 5 for mezzos, it becomes imperative to use more of it. That's the thing. It becomes very imperative to really like emphasize it. That's why it almost becomes like a feeling of smiling almost. So
and how would you sing the "Who Do We Live"? Because it's also a longer vowel there, like "Who do we live Would you keep that like in a live or in a live, or how would you sing that?
You can sing I if you would like. If you sing
Yeah.
it will be it will have to go into that head voice, which you kind of feel when you do the. It'll be in that place.
Yeah.
It'll be, and it will be just like you're saying the word live, but you have to make sure you let it float up there.
Yeah. So basically, just what I call like an open eye, not a closed eye.
Yeah. So you say closed. So closed eye would be E, right?
Yeah, closed eye would be for me like
then,
E, and the other would be like E.
So instead of that, I want you to even go like almost towards the word lift, like not left, but lift.
Lift.
Yeah.
Lift.
Yeah. Actually, just like the word live. So like you wouldn't say leave.
Yeah.
You wouldn't say lave. You wouldn't say lev, but you say live.
No. Live.
And that. And you can kind of purse your lips a little bit together to give it a little bit more roundness.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
can you kind of tune it a little bit more? So I want you to try to get your lips like that. Like it's basically like saying and you kind of go so to kind of tune it.
Okay.
So,
You see, that's my problem.
okay, I'll have a coffee break.
Yeah, that's good.
You held that last one on a bit long. It sounded like it was. I think sometimes if you lose the intensity but keep going, it lets your folds come apart. Does it?
Yeah, I think so.
Sounded
Maybe.
like it a bit.
And now, I mean, I'm coughing since this morning because I have bronchitis back in the house, so that's also a problem right now.
I see. Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh yeah, one more thing. When you do live, I want you to kind of think about a little bit more air through the nose.
Okay.
Okay?
But it's not open.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Lift. Good. Okay. So.
Yeah, now I experimented a bit with closing and opening a bit more in the back. Yeah. But did you hear that slight scratch in the voice? Like, did you hear it?
Not
At
much.
some point, it had like very slight scratch in the voice. But that could be from coughing.
Yeah, it really could be. Like, I remember when I was just getting sick and I had the bronchitis stuff going on, and that was not fun to sing with, and especially my upper range in that area, the head voice range was much less
because
stable.
Every time when you cough, it slams your cords together, and the air that pushes out, it's not good, right?
Oh gosh. You got to get well.
Yeah, but is this normal? Like when you sing for like an hour up there in head voice, just in head voice, and even like lower parts you sing in head voice because you want to be the classical type of range, right? So you also stretch down your head voice, which I can do. I worked on that as well. But afterwards, when I want to sing again, like in belting mode and in chest voice mode, it's just not working. Like, what is that?
I think a lot of it has to
I'm
do
like
with the way that you approach your head voice from what we've been doing. Like, it has to do with what your predisposition is. So for you, I've noticed that especially like your head voice, you use very closed vowels. sometimes a little bit overly closed for what you need to be doing up there. And then that is something that doesn't translate to the belt sound. And then if you try to get a belted sound, that kind of brassy sound out of it, it is not conducive. And then you kind of strain a little bit trying to force your voice to get that. So what you would want to do if you were to be belting that area, you would probably want to add a little bit extra smile in, and even like you would keep the same space in the back of the throat, but you would get a little bit more smile, and then you would use more breath pressure, so it would feel more like and because when you go into head voice, like what I told you,
compression, you mean now?
Yeah, this compression or twang, for some people they call it twang, the feeling of going from like but when you do it
bring the sound like forward, right?
Yeah, it almost feels like a narrowing for some people. It feels like they're narrowing, and it really is a very individual sensation. Some people kind of mimic a falling airplane, like to get to that kind of brassy sound. Yeah, you have to really be convincing with it. But yeah, things like that, and then it would have to do with, and also like how you feel it too. Kind of when you have to use a bigger intensity in the voice in terms of like the attack, and it feels like you're compressing more than like you said, compressing the breath much more.
This I understand. That's totally clear for me. It was just the feeling that my voice, it's like it's kind of locking up there. Like I feel almost I have to like warm down my voice to sing down there again. You know what I mean?
I think I know what you mean, and that has to do sometimes with people taking their upper approach. It's like their upper mechanism in their voice, and then they kind of forget to come back to using the lower voice mechanism. And the thing is, you can actually bring a lot of the finesse and the flexibility of that upper voice into your lower voice, but you just have to also lean into the lower voice the right way. Like for example, for men, right around like the area of, I would say around here. So that right there, that area for a lot of men is actually really difficult for them to get their vowels to be very clear. A lot of guys, like especially classical singers, they're trying to sing an ah, and they're like they do a lot of weird sounding things that don't sound like an ah. And then what they would want to do is more go towards like a kind of sound, but you have to have a certain kind of sensation of they call it an attack, but you don't want to like attack it too violently because that turns into a constipated sound. But you want to have a healthy amount of attack, which is like chord adduction, which is something that Janet's teacher Marnell would talk about. Our teacher, he really does go into that a lot. He's a big proponent of that kind of attack, and that's kind of what needs to happen to get the vowels to be resonant, and then also to allow those pitches to be clear. So like for us, we go like but you can't be like it's too gentle, and if you go it collapses the throat. So there's like a certain kind of adduction. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
So like basically for the female voice, right in that middle register too, it can be a little bit tricky, and then you have to use the right vowels and open the mouth enough.
That makes total sense. And then I would have another question if I still can. I don't know. I think Janet has things too, right?
No. I've got choir this evening, and no, I think your needs. I like observing.
Okay. The other thing is like my second passaggio, my second break.
Yeah.
I discovered that when I started singing in head voice high up there. So and that's around E F around
Okay.
5. So I don't know how to approach it because my first break around C6, this one I could work quite easily on it, like with singing leads and stuff. And just to change the placement whenever I transition in head voice, that's no problem so far. Like I know how to deal with that. But in this upper register, I have no idea how to approach it because I never sang up there on a regular basis.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can kind of get that sensation and kind of work on that by doing the open mouth hum behind the hand, because that'll help you feel kind of what the airflow needs to be like and what the resonance shift in that second bridge needs to be like. And then you can take your hand off of your mouth and then see what that sounds like. So it could be like I guess like here, like. So that's O basically. But you feel kind of where it is when you do the open mouth hum, and you train yourself to try to retain that sensation of where that lift and where it goes. So if you want to give that a shot, I would say try it on a very closed O, like O.
I feel it already. I can't even access the note. I have to go on down because. Okay.
You have to make sure you pass the air through your nose and use adequate airflow. And you could try it on the F. I think you can do it. And lift here too. Okay. So what it's gonna be like is you're basically going from. So you're going from ah to O.
Yeah. Okay.
And the O is gonna start with. It's gonna feel like you have air passing through your nose when you first start it. You can do whichever method is easiest for you.
Yes. Okay, now I'll try that.
And then also, make sure you take your lips and kind of put them in the O shape.
Oh
like
yeah.
Saying,
Sorry. No, I start to strain. Did you feel that?
Yeah. So I would want you to also like really lift, because remember we have to really get more lift as soon as you pass the C5 area, and that place right there, a lot of smile almost. Basically, you're smiling.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
That was quite high.
It worked. Yeah, it definitely worked. Yeah.
So I would.
But then the mental thing came in. So
yes.
Oh no, it goes up.
Yeah. So yeah. Also, as you're doing that, so the F5 area will be more like that'll be like the O, but then once you get to around the A.
So you said like the E would still be like an open A, right? Like an A, and then it transitions into an O when you go to the F, right?
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Well, actually, yeah. It's like more like the E flat area is gonna be like ah. It's gonna be like awesome, but you're gonna have like your nose passage open, because you at that point in your range you need to basically have the nasal passage open and have a lot of lift and feel that as much as possible.
But it ain't open. It's blocked.
Yeah, you can try to go like hold your nose and just basically push out against your nostrils.
Use this.
And see if you can just
I
like pop
have
open
one.
both of them.
Yeah, I have
have
one of them
used
right
that.
now because I'm not ill really, but I have issues again. And yeah, it does what it does. So and after the F you said, then it comes G, then it stays in the O.
So the G is gonna be like the O that we did earlier, the aw shape,
Ow, yeah.
but the O inside the mouth. Aw mouth.
Shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw mouth O. Oh. So.
Sound. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then.
Like that.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, and then G.
And then so.
A.
So the A will be the aw, like awesome. And then it just depends on what you want to do. But you're pretty much like, that's pretty much where most songs don't go past like the A. Well, yeah, like.
They go.
Well, where
they go.
Like, where are you hitting
They
like
are
C6 or what?
crazy. Well, some single notes she even has above C6. So I mean, I'm not sure if I can hit them honestly, like a D, I think it is. Yeah, not sure.
So if you were to do that, those, so yeah,
That
like
would
as
be
you're getting into that
whistle,
part
right?
of your voice, those
Whistle.
parts of your voice, you need to start, you basically are going to sing front vowels instead of back vowels. So even if it's, the vowel is, even if the vowel is ah or o, you're going to sing like, an umlaut A, like, basically.
It's where you can shape vowels.
I'm thinking of the Queen of the Night.
Yeah, what are you saying,
But
Angela?
I think this is like where you can't really shape vowels anymore, right? It's like basically comes out what comes out, more or less, right?
Not
No?
quite. Actually, it's more important to shape the vowels more than any
really?
other time. At that time, because you basically have much less choices than other times. In any lower pitches, you have much more options and much more room for error. So what actually happens is around that area, like maybe as you're going to like that past G5 for you, A5 area, like instead of singing ah, you basically can start singing like an eh, but with your mouth like rounded, like eh. So if you want to try that, you can try that on an A5 here.
Okay.
So try. So sing like basically.
Okay. Jesus.
And yeah, and
So
also
bad.
one more thing to kind of let you know. There is it's basically you will kind of see the dimple here, like if you look at the mic right here.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when people go for the highest notes. That's the stabilizing motion of the larynx. So
is that
people,
normal?
that's actually normal and it's anatomically correct. So a lot of singers, they try to relax as they're going higher, and they actually don't allow themselves to do it, and that's why they cap off their range, because they're thinking, oh no, if I do that, I must be straining, and they're like, don't do it.
Wow.
And then they can't, that means that they can't access that.
Oh wow. Okay.
So,
How did you find that out?
it's in Coffin's book. It's actually right on
As a
page
smart
35.
person.
Or was it?
It's in the male exercises for sure. He definitely makes note of it, and it's yes, he talks about it quite a bit. So
Can I ask you something very quickly, just about where the Caruso vowel scale through passaggio? Why is it such? It's probably obvious, and I should know. Such a short.
because
Maybe I
it's
don't
for
know
tenors.
what Caruso.
It's for tenors.
Right, but it says female voices should sing this line to equalize their voices through passaggio. Unless
I'm not quite certain what he's referring to there. I mean, you could sing it. That's not really the thing. I think what he's talking about is the vowel register, is my guess.
right.
My guess is that he's saying that y'all should practice the vowel register. I'm not really sure about that. I would have to look into it. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I do have this passaggio at F4, so it would fit with that.
Yeah, like you would still have to do it as a female, but you don't do it the same way the males do. Males would take it much more how do we say, like we really try to like round a ton, because if we don't, we can't get up there.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. Carry on.
So anyway, so on A, if you do basically sing let, like like let,
Okay.
then get your lips like this. So if you want to practice that on a lower note, go le, like le. Good.
Okay.
Now let's try going like this. Go. Just basically find it.
Okay, now
So-
I feel that my chords aren't closing properly because vibrato starts to go
So
to shit.
yeah, so what I want you to try is I want you to yodel it up there. I want you to do it on this pitch lower, the one you started out
Okay.
with, and then after you find it and the vibrato is spinning on that one, I want you to keep everything here the exact same and just let this go.
Okay.
Okay, just let the larynx do the jump for you and support it.
No.
Oh yeah, smile. Make sure you don't like forget to do your lift
Yeah.
and smile because it's up there.
Was that correct?
That was very close. That was pretty much there. So I
Okay.
would say
Cool.
that you would most likely want to feel the same thing you feel when you do the hum behind the hand. So you can try like feel that sensation of where that vibration is.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but it feels like straining. It does feel like straining, but I mean, for me, it's pretty high, so it's normal.
Yeah.
It tenses up.
So
But I need to try to relax more here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can you try dropping your shoulders, relaxing your shoulders, and then like just gently like you would have to like kind of have like imagine if you were one of the famous sopranos singing to the audience where you
Yeah.
see they're like
Yeah.
looking outward like that.
Yeah. Okay. I'll try. Wait, I have to get up for this. I think it works better.
Yeah.
Wait. What was the pitch again? Sorry. Okay.
How did that feel? That was it.
Better.
Yeah, that
That
was it.
sounded
But I
brilliant.
feel also when I do too much this motion, like lifting my chin a little, that it blocks again. Like it's a very small movement I have to do for
It's-
that. Like to
it's
really
a very-
find it.
Yes, it's very precise adjustments when it comes to doing that. That's what I was trying to
Yeah.
impress on Janet in our last lesson actually when I was talking to Janet about that. So remember Janet when I was telling you that it's not just like you don't just look up, but there's like a very like you have
Yeah.
to play around with it and you have to tune to find where it is so that it gives you the release you're looking for. And if you overshoot it, it gets tight again. If you undershoot it, it gets
exactly.
tight.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright, cool.
Yeah. So then you can
But
try.
still, I mean, I still feel like I strain my voice right now. Why is that? And it starts to get raspy. Is it a bad closure of the chords, or what is it? I press too much and don't use my support right, or what
Maybe
is it?
because a couple of times you've done it wrong or, non-optimally. So you've strained them a bit, but it's that sounded wonderful. And in fact, if you hadn't held it on for quite so long, probably would have felt easier. Because it sounded so good.
To hold a note long, that's not very hard for me as long as I support right. My breath it stays inside. It's not harder to sing it longer. But I felt it's still like too much pressure. So I feel maybe I can use my resonance room better in order to be louder with less compression or pressure, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, so you can play around with it to find what the optimal balance is for you. So you can try to, if anything, I think that it might be like it's one of those tricky sensations. I've heard teachers describe it as trying to let go while you're holding on. Does that make sense?
It does. It
does. Like when you do it
basically when you sing up high right there, you can keep your larynx down. I mean, you can, but then it sounds bad, in my opinion. When you do like, it
yeah,
sounds
exactly.
So bad.
That's.
But yeah, and when you let it go, I mean, when you really let it go, you don't tense up here, and I still tense up here for some reason, and I think that's my problem right now.
So you are going to have to use extrinsic muscles here. So when you're singing,
it's normal.
Yeah. So especially because this is pretty much topping your range. So for any singers, getting to the top of our range, the extrinsic muscles have to come in play. The name of the game is trying to pace it as much as we can and trying to balance the extrinsic muscle usage.
What is that? What does that mean? To haste it? I don't know the word.
To pace it, as in to
pace it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Sorry.
And so you can try now. Like we can try going to. So instead of let me see. Yeah, instead of the.
But when I do like these yawning exercises, you know, like this, it's so easy. Like I can go up so high. I even can go to a D up there. Like it's nothing. But when I have to sing the note, really, it's so hard. Like.
Yeah, I think it's because it's a different quality. Because when you're just going. Yeah. You're just kind of like you're just doing that. But then once you have to sustain it, you realize if you just sustain that sound. It's not a usable sound.
Yeah.
It's not.
No. Yeah.
So now I want you to try going with an A, like the word hey or bay or may, and then make it like this. So one trick is to go ray, like Yeah, so like basically you would sing.
Is that bad? When I'm in head voice, I start to do that. Is that bad?
I don't.
Because it happened. I don't know. I don't want wrinkles though.
Yeah, that's not going to be the priority. I think the priority would be like what happens here. If you're doing that and you're lifting here, maybe it's become a habit. But you should be able to go.
Yeah. Okay.
You should, like,
looks terrible.
So I want you to try what this is basically. It's using the consonant R, where basically it's a rhotic vowel kind of sound. It's like because your lips will be rounded for that, right? But you have to notice, like Janet, it's like this, not like this. It's not. It's.
And isn't normal the higher you go, you have to open the mouth a bit more, right? I mean, not that you open it too much because then it's blocked again, but you have to open it more.
Yes.
In order to bring the sound.
Yeah, and it also kind of, that's what happens at the passaggios. At the passaggios, you have the moment where you can't open the mouth anymore, or else it's going to strain, and you have to close it down to the next, basically the next shape. That's why it goes, yeah, so that's why the vowels kind of go, like right here it goes, and then from there I should really be singing front vowels.
No, yeah.
Basically, all the way up.
Yeah.
So for your
basically, right before the passaggio, like you close it up again in order to go to the next one.
You start rounding it. Yeah, you start rounding your mouth shape a little bit, right at like the nose right before the passaggio, like right at the passaggio, basically. Like the note before the flip, you start rounding, and then the next note where you would flip, you would sing a smaller vowel. You would sing O.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Okay.
You make it like narrower, right? Is that the right term?
Yes, that would be what people would call it. They would call it narrowing your voice properly. Yes.
So you bring it a little bit more forward before you place it new. Is that correct? Because when I do a more narrower sound, the sound comes a little bit more forward. Or is that not exactly?
I don't know. It's that sounds like a pretty subjective kind of sensation. So I wouldn't want to tell you to not do it if it's the right thing. If it feels like that's what it is and you're doing it right. So, but for you, what I was trying to get at with the array is basically you keep your lips rounded like that, and then you just change the mouth inside to say A. But you don't move your lips.
Understood.
And then that would be like.
Okay. No.
So it's gonna be A, not S. So try to make it more clearly A. So you have to let the larynx really go there. This is basically what that will be. That will basically be whistle voice. Basically, you're basically in whistle. So it's not going to sound like, it's not going to be like a very hard closure anymore. It's going to be basically whistling through your folds.
Yeah.
So that's what that is basically. So that's what you would use going up there, because what I wanted you to do is, after you go there now, we're going to try to take it up, and then you open your mouth more. So the first one is actually going to be rather closed. I don't want you to go like, I want you to go.
Okay.
It's like open up as you're on the top. When you're going.
Oh my god.
Okay. And then as you get to this note at the top, it's gonna turn into the rounded like the la. That's what it is at this note. So re. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and remember, you have to look. You have to have the right posture to be able to do these notes. And drop the shoulders and smile. So that time you kind of kept your head a little bit constant. Right here.
Yeah.
No. Like it's gonna have a little bit. You have to kind of figure out that spot again where it feels stable. Smaller. Yeah.
Okay. That's it. What was that? Was that a C?
That was a D.
No, that was not a C. Wow, really?
Yeah, that was pretty much a
sorry,
D.
having a squee moment here.
It's okay. So yeah, pretty much you got to the D6, and the thing there is it becomes very important to keep the airflow, and then to keep that feeling of the, like what we talked about with the head voice, lots of lift and lots of airflow, because that's basically what keeps it alive there. Or the second your airflow gets uneven, it goes.
I felt that. Yeah, that's why I stopped, because I felt like when I go more up there, I don't have enough air. Wow. I'm more.
So that's where a lot of the stuff that we've worked on with Janet and her teacher have worked on in terms of feeling the expansion and feeling the ribs pushing out, like going. Like basically, you would keep feeling that sensation just under your bottom ribs.
Yeah.
Like when you breathe in, you would feel it expand, and then when you sing.
I was always taught that here it should like be pushed outside, and here it should go inside when you, like, the less air you have left. Is that correct?
It is on a very basic level. That's what happens, but people actually find that there is also a second kind of supporting pushing out sensation that happens on the sides and also really deep inside. So for example, it kind of looks like, so I'm about to sing, you see this come in and this pushes out.
It comes out.
But then if I really push in here, I sing, I go, oh, it looks like it's going in and this is going out, but this is still pushing out. Oh.
Yeah, it has still tension,
Yeah, so I'm pulling in, but this is still pushing back out. So this is kind of the tricky part, because some people, they just think, oh, I should pull in, I'll pull in really hard, and they don't support it by like pushing it back out. And that, it's basically, or you can even feel it on the sides and the back, like.
Yeah. I remember, like, my first teacher, he told us to, like, stand all on the wall. We were, like, a huge group, like, rehearsing for musical songs, and we had all to stand on the wall and then feel, really, like, we push where the kidneys are, we really push out to that wall, and it really worked. Like, I know you have to really feel it, because at the beginning I wasn't able to push out even, like, 1 millimeter. And now I can really push out there like 1 centimeter, or I don't know how much that is in inches. Yeah.
No, yeah.
And do you do that?
Me?
Yeah. Do you
I
still do that?
Yes, but since I started now working on head voice, I don't pay much attention. Where I really pay the most attention to my correct breathing, still to this day, is when I belt. Then I really want as much as I can, because I need more like compression. To belt that tone out, and but not to strain up here, right? So there I really pay attention more than I do now, I think.
So those are very good points, and I think that when you're at the very top of the head voice area there, though, it does become almost like that kind of intensity that you would use with belting, like a C5, C6, or C5 or D5 kind of. That's what you're using, that kind of an intensity in your body. In terms of how much you have to control.
It was very intense. It was very intense, because I think like the vocal cords are very, I don't know, are they, when you sing high, are they close together, or are they long?
They get stretched out. They get stretched out this way.
Okay, then they are really stretched. I felt that. Like, I was afraid when I go one more note, it makes ping, and they're gone.
So also, what happens for you is in those notes, for you around C, right around when you're getting close to C6-ish, you are basically going to, your folds are not, you're not vibrating like going head voice anymore. You're actually like whistling through this little pocket. You're having a little pocket and you're whistling. It's like a flute. So that's kind of why it's not going to be well adducted. It's not going to feel like you're singing in your chest voice anymore. So you don't. So
I felt actually like on C6, I felt a change again in the mechanism, kind of. So that means like you have like 3 passagios, or what? Like when you take it like very close, you have 3 passagios.
So what that is basically you were going from what you would call your flute voice, your head head mix, into whistle, and then into super whistle at C6. At C6, there's something called super whistle voice that comes in, and it's kind of like like up there. Basically, it's like this tiny sound, and it's like it's very, very.
Wait,
very
let
small.
me try. What was that?
So you can sing it like
Yeah, but just once.
You can try singing it like an E, but like say like lee, but make sure you have the smile, a lot of smile, and then passing air through your nose, like.
What was that?
Like.
Oh my god.
So you could try doing it here and then yodel it up by going like.
Okay. Okay.
And like keep your support constant, basically.
Okay. That's so not pretty sounding.
Yeah. So what you actually
so
did,
ugly.
you actually went towards an like an A or basically. Like
Yeah.
you went towards the let, so you went, and then you also probably were a little bit too wide. You probably should have been about here.
Okay.
And smile, but right here, like two fingers is at most.
Yeah. And what vowel you want me to do when
So you can do
like E, an open E, like an
yeah.
E.
I want like E, like re, but and on this note.
This.
Yeah. So start here with.
Okay.
And then it's gonna be, when you do it, it's gonna be like air through your nose. Start with the puff of air through your nose so it feels like you're doing your hum behind the hand.
Yeah. Yes. No.
So you're opening your mouth a lot, right? So you gotta really try to keep the mouth the same and then just yodel it.
I can't help myself when
It's
it
okay.
when it goes up
Yeah,
there. I want to open my mouth like ah.
Yeah, but it's okay because you're trying to basically stay in because you were going from your head voice into whistle voice. What we were trying to do before was kind of go from head voice and jump into super whistle, which is the tiniest one, which is why you can't open your mouth that much more. It's kind of funny though, because in the other parts of your range, you don't want to open your mouth, and now you're like, I want to open it so much. Yeah, it's kind of funny.
I think I still don't get the mechanism because it's like the first time I sing so high up there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I don't understand this mechanism quite.
It takes time too. Yeah, it takes time and like takes practicing takes a lot of practicing that to really build up that sensation of the head resonance so that you can call upon it whenever you want.
Yes, but it's so nice. I mean, now I have many things to work on again. It's really, really cool. I really appreciate it. Like, and especially for the song that we worked on. I mean, now I know how I have to change the things that they work for me. It's amazing. It's so amazing.
Oh, yeah, no, you're
Thank
very
you
welcome.
so much.
So yeah, like ho, do, way, lev. Like, basically, and if you wanted, where you can do live or lev. So it's like lev would be a nasal, or not, like basically like open nasal passage, like
yes.
Or you can go so it just depends on what color you want up there at that point. So that's kind of the choice. You can choose to sing if you want it to be more piercing and a little bit more open sounding, but if you want it to be more restrained sounding, you would go for the I. Okay?
Yeah.
Versus
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. And what's the other line?
Right.
What's the other line after that? Who
is the fool? Who is the wise man?
Okay, and it's the same notes. Who is the fool? Right? So you would use ho as I would say the.
And fool, how would you do fool? Like, because it is a double O, like you have to do like fool.
You don't have to. It depends on if you want, because like sopranos, they totally go like they sing O. You can sing an O with the nasal, like. But yeah. Yeah, people understand it. Yeah, people understand it because of the context. It's the same O, like the ah mouth and O inside. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, so there you go. So hopefully that kind of gives you an idea of the direction you would go in with that. Like you can, so you don't have to sing the exact vowels. Yeah, because you sing the vowels that are most resonant, that people understand to be the
That's
right.
what works. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so nice. That's amazing. Like I feel so like 100 times better right now, and more confident. I know what to do, where to do it. Even wrote it down so I don't forget it. Like it's really, really cool.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy to hear that. Yeah, and Janet, I hope that kind of helped you as well, right? Like to kind of see.
Yeah, certainly.
Could you record it for yourself?
Yeah, I've recorded this, yeah.
Because Janet likes to always see things, to learn from others what they do. So that's cool.
And,
very much so.
Yeah, and so Janet, for you, one thing that I was remembering that we talked about in the past, like you were saying that you got the straw exercise. It feels like you're very familiar with that now. You can do it up and down your range, and then but you have difficulty negotiating the pressure, like going because you're like the straw feels like nothing. It feels like it's too easy almost, right? You don't feel like you're doing enough. And then when Marnell's telling you to use intensity, you're like you associate the word intensity with a squeeze that's basically borderline strain, right? And then it's like, it's not the same
and he
thing.
doesn't stop me doing that. Because what I realized that the little exercise I sent you where we were coming down from C5, what he's looking for is the quality of sound on the bottom note. And so he doesn't worry so much that I'm struggling at the top, I feel. So I'm not coordinating my voice properly for the C5. I've been listening to what you say with Angela and also translating to what that C5 feels like.
Can you
with
try
the straw,
that real quick? So you were talking
feels
about
like my head voice.
So you were doing like right?
Yeah. So
but you were
I
doing
would
an
have gone
through a oo lip, right? So you were
Now that was more my head voice. Because of doing this just now, and I kept turning the volume on and off so that I could practice as well. And the other thing I was going to say is that you're talking about the here.
Yes. Okay.
Whereas is that the same when he says push out your solar plexus, which is what Angela was saying?
So
it is there as well, under the bottom, the floating ribs.
It's all related, and I don't know if you remember, before he had you pushing out your solar plexus,
he had me
made
putting
you
my
work
hands
on
here.
Yeah, so it's all a matter of developing awareness of that. It's like a 360 motion. It really should be in practice like it's like an inner tube. Like there's like a tire wrapped around you, right? And as you're singing, the tire is like expanding. It's kind of what you have to imagine. Okay.
It's just that you can actually feel when you push out there. But Angela adding to that with the feeling
I
against
would like
the
to
wall.
add something quick, small. The diaphragm, which is actually where the solar plexus is, it's like a muscle, right? So when you breathe in, this muscle, like it's the action of the muscle is actually when you breathe in. And afterwards, it will relax when you breathe out, but you want to stop that muscle from relaxing so the air doesn't just go out. That's basically what you're doing. And this muscle, it's like from here, where your solar plexus is, where you feel the ribs right here, it goes down and around. That's why also like voice teachers, they also talk about, how is that in English now? I don't know how it's in English. In German, it's like Gürtelatmung, like Gürtel is translated to belt.
Girdle.
I don't know. Do you say that like belt breathing? I don't know.
Yeah, no,
but,
there's
maybe that makes sense too. Just wanted to add.
Yeah, that is a thing. Also, to add on top of that, so the diaphragm is a muscle. It basically descends as we inhale, and the action of holding it in place is actually when you pull your abs in, or you pull your lower cord in and up, so that like you're riding a horse downhill when you go.
Yeah.
That is actually the action of locking. That literally locks the diaphragm and makes it stable. It stabilizes because the transversus muscle is actually attached to the lower fibers of the diaphragm.
Okay,
So,
cool.
so that's
Yeah.
why we don't want to lose that, because if someone is basically going like this, they pull in, and as soon as you start singing, they let go. Then yeah, do you hear how my voice suddenly, like the air control of all of my control just went out the window? And then it becomes a balance of
Yeah.
how hard you press, though, how to pull in and up just the right amount for the right pitches, and to not overdo it at the wrong time. Okay? And so I just wanted
What
to
about
hear,
the riding the horse downhill?
That's
so that's
cool.
That was Rodman lady, wasn't
that's
it?
a very good yeah, I've used that one with some people because it's very helpful.
Yeah,
So
I
you
have
were
to
saying,
remember all.
so what were you gonna do though? Like, so like you said you would do like,
Well, yeah, it was really getting the intent, the balance between what I feel I'm doing under Marnell's instruction compared to the feeling I get through the straw, which when I take the straw out of my mouth and make the sound, it feels like I'm using a nice head voice. And with Marnell, it feels like I'm trying to be in my full voice, as he would call it. And you told me that eventually the two are going to merge.
and
And
the right way of doing it is actually like somewhere in between. So a lot of
Yeah.
times what you think is your head voice is actually not yeah, it's not an actual functional voice coordination for what your goals are. And then it doesn't let in your resonance wasn't shifting properly, which is why when we first did the hum behind the hand, it was really difficult. You were like,
Yeah.
what is this sensation? But hopefully that's clearing up and that's improving, and then the goal will be to take that straw out of your mouth and then to think, like not to physically try to do a cough at all, but to think about gentle cough as you're taking the straw out of your mouth and go like kind of a straw.
Yeah.
To go like this, to go instead of going, to actually be able to
Yeah.
lean into it.
Sometimes I've done the Oh Mio with the straw and then immediately sing it. And it just, I do translate that feeling. Shifting resonance, though, is something that Angela obviously gets. And I don't even have a concept of
It's
what that means.
happens when you practice the hum behind the hand. That's exactly what you're feeling. You're feeling the resonance as it shifts however it needs to shift naturally. And it has a lot to do with using the right airflow and having the right amount of lift. Because I think a lot of times you had in the past been like, I know how to do the lift, I just feel roses, you know? But then it's like, it's actually so much more pronounced for your high notes that you can't just be like, I got this. You have to be like, oh, wait. Because like, yeah, and Angela can attest to that. She has a lot of natural lift in her speaking voice and in her singing voice. But then once she reaches those notes, she can't just be like, can't just be like, oh, I got this. She just be like,
Yeah, no.
it has to really
What I
be
also
emphasized.
tried to explain to Janet today is like the placement, like how is the placement that that she gets like her natural vibrato, right? We were talking today. And I tried to explain to her like it is all about like where the tone is, like where it resonates. And if it resonates where it has like the most pingy sound, where you feel the vibration here, then it's at the right place. And then when you like let it from straight, you just relax it, then it has a natural vibrato.
And this was in a chest voice on a G4.
Yeah, and I tried to explain that it's like the placement of all of these things here is similar to when you breathe in, like when you would breathe in and sing at the same time. It's very unhealthy, but yeah.
Okay.
But like
No,
when you
that's
yawn,
totally,
like
yeah.
you breathe in, you yawn, and then that's like, because then you have your soft palate up already, and it's just everything in place basically. This you don't have, but
Yeah, so
the
that's
rest.
basically what the store breath that I was teaching Janet about is. It's all about doing
Okay.
that. So when I taught
Yeah.
Janet about the store breath, it's the lift
Yeah.
and then the opening here, and that feeling of like, it's like
Yeah.
it's basically like you're inhaling, but you're inhaling on a yawn, like, But like it's like right before your yawn goes full speed.
Yeah.
Because once your yawn opens up to a full yawn, then
Yeah.
you sound like this and you think so.
Yeah.
Right? It sounds like you're yawning all the time. You don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You want to have just
No.
Oh.
And so real quick though, so the ooh, so if you just go ooh,
That sounds very simple. Now that sounds like I went from my head voice into my chest voice to me.
so I don't want you to think about that right now because remember, like when you start thinking about that, that's when you start throwing yourself off and going, I need to change things.
The kind of I
See,
would
he's starting to
be
change
doing would
things.
be,
So,
That's
So-
what I would do for Marnell.
so I would rather.
No, I can't even do it.
So I want you to do the first one you did again. Do that again.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to go
That
to
was
the
pretty
choir
good.
and.
Okay. Good. Yeah. Good.
So there's a change in something on the last pitch.
That's okay because it's gonna need to do that because that's part of what happens in your voice naturally. But so then if you were to do it on an O, so try the same voice.
No, that's,
keep
that's
the-
head voice.
That's not the point. Okay, so now I want you to think about more gentle cough as you're getting to the bottom of it. So to try to hold it together a little bit more.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Cool.
basically what you would want to do, and then you can go where's that note here? So yeah, you would go to an ah. For you, it's obviously that's what it would be for you because you are a female singer because that's the exercise. I would be doing it an octave lower. And now lean into it, gentle cough. So can you think about more gentle cough at the bottom as you're getting close to the bottom, going like, so you did a really good job up there, and then just go as you're getting to the ah, just get more of that feeling of holding on a little bit more. Yes. Oh, so right there, do you notice right there where the vowel collapsed? So there's a
Yeah.
moment there where it goes. So that's exactly what you want to be really aware of. So I want you to pay attention to that as you practice the next few days, okay? And really think about when that happens. I don't want you to just gloss it over. Yeah, I don't want you to gloss it over, but I want you to try to see if you can iron it out. Like imagine that that's like a wrinkle.
Yeah.
And then you want to figure out how to iron it out, and then instead of ignoring it and then neglecting the fact that it's there. Like, because it's not, when these things happen, it's not a matter of like, oh man, my voice is messed up. It's a matter of, oh, something happened. What can I change to adjust to
Yeah.
fix it? Okay.
In the past, it's been back off. What was the bottom note?
That was an E4, so you went from E5
Yeah,
to
that's
E4.
exactly where.
But
Yeah.
that's the break that she has, right? From chest
Lower
to head
equal.
voice.
Yeah, so
Yeah, but
Right.
even though I can carry my
Hers
chest
is around
voice
P.
up to an A.
so the
If
thing,
I'm-
yeah.
Yeah.
The thing
But
is,
that's
like, I don't-
why with Marnell I
Mhm.
would be doing. No,
Yeah.
you know.
hmm So I want your O to have more of the oo in it, where you can actually just don't even do O. Yeah, so
Yeah.
from there,
And go to an R.
and not ah, but aw, like awesome,
Aw.
not all.
Yeah.
That's too dark.
That's just my horrible note, that one.
So the thing is,
I don't know where to put my voice. It wants to be in which is airy.
So I want you to be able to open your mouth more and then think about the gentle cough there. And then when you open your mouth, I want you to really pay attention to it's not going to be like or like anything tight. Or I want it to be like lifted and relaxed.
It's a difficult note for you as well.
Yeah,
isn't it?
especially, yeah, right there's like. And also, I was like, I had terrible posture just then. I was like leaning all funky ways.
Yeah. You see, I can go up from there in chest voice, but I still can't. There'll be the break in a different
So the thing
place.
is that's why that exercise, what I was just telling you to do, is to bring the thin mechanism, the E's, down into that note, and then to teach you to not press into it, to teach you instead to lean properly. So the goal is that I'm trying to get you to take the to lean like this, because that's basically what that is equivalent for me, is to go to find a gentle version instead of going, because I could also sing it the way you sing your chest voice. I'd be going or you know, like the kind of attack there. It's like, yes, it is chest voice, you're correct, but is it the most pretty chest voice? Not yet, right? So in order to find that, you would go and think of a little bit more gentle cough, but just enough.
It comes. Right,
Okay.
it comes.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be.
I think I was so drilled in making a strong, firm chest voice, and then when I want to sing long ago, you know.
So it has to do with not being too stubborn with yourself, because basically I feel like what happened is you were being taught and you were being taken through training phases, and then when we're trying to progress you past one training phase, you're holding on, going, no, but that's what I did before, that's what I did last month, and we're like, no, we want you to like grow from where you were last month, and then we want you to like increase.
Refine.
Yes, exactly.
Refine.
So we're trying to encourage you to really play around and refine to get that.
I have to
Yes.
think about Freya now. I want to throw something in. Freya just said somewhere, I can't remember where, when she said she had first to train like this very dark head voice when she started to train opera, like with the larynx down and very like, oh, and afterwards her teacher was telling her, now you have to let go of this darkness. And then she was like, why? I learned it this way. And it only helped her to go to a certain point, and after this point she could let go of it because she had foundation, right?
Yes, exactly. She had to develop a certain kind of foundation. That's what Marnell did too. Marnell showed me clips of his first teacher teaching him, and his first teacher made him go oh for a while because his voice was too weak before. Because when he first started, he sounded like this.
Yeah, he tells me that.
So she would make him do that in order. So now that he's progressed, now he goes and he doesn't have a problem anymore.
Yeah.
But it's
cool.
Yeah, you have to.
I'd better go to choir now.
Yeah, it's good.
If you did record this, it would be just amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
It was amazing. I really enjoyed this so much. Even now, I could learn stuff like from you, Janet. Now I wrote down some stuff like. That's very interesting.
Hearing someone else in sort of intimate detail is so helpful.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. So.
And it's a little bit different when you're not watching the lesson, but when you're actually there, so you can chime in and be like, hey, what was that?
Yeah. Yeah, and I was putting it on silent and having a go myself as well. So.
Excellent. Yeah.
Brilliant.
So we'll have a good time at choir. Hopefully all the songs will be very, very conducive to you practicing. Hopefully you can practice the coordinations there.